Welcome to Faint Footsteps World War II, Part 5. This video provides details about a combined operations camp where Canadian sailors trained aboard landing crafts prior to the Dieppe Raid in 1942. Lovely Inveraray sits on the lovely shore of Loch Fyne in lovely Scotland. The loch is lovely as well, and long, even longer than Loch Long, about 90 minutes by car northwest of Glasgow. It is important to note that Loch Fyne possesses many isolated and shallow beaches. And near these beaches, many large camps were built during World War II where sailors and soldiers could practice important skills aboard landing crafts outside the range of German bombers. The largest camp, situated 1 or 2 miles from Inveraray, was Combined Operations No. 1 Training Center. The camp or center was called HMS Quebec. Its main goal was to train sailors how to use various craft for landing assault troops, supplies, ammunition, and weaponry onto heavily defended and enemy-occupied beaches. Today, HMS Quebec is a caravan park, and I explored the site in 2014. I've read that 250,000 Allied personnel passed through the center from 1940 to 1944. Up to 15,000 men trained in the area at any one time. Canadian sailors arrived at the camp in jam-packed lorries by way of long and winding roads in late March 1942. A few men likely puzzled over its name, but learned in due course the name was linked to Canadian military history. The wolf is a clue. It was the busiest of camps, with the Dieppe Raid and invasion of North Africa only months away, unbeknownst to the raw recruits. Busy instructors put my father and mates through their paces in small flat-bottomed vessels that could slide up onto shore in 8 inches of water when empty. We did a lot of running up onto beaches, my father says, so the soldiers could disembark and re-embark. I was always watching the tide to see if it was flowing in or going out. You could easily be left high and dry, or turn sideways if you weren't constantly alert. We took long trips at night in close single formation, like ducks lined up close. All you could see was the fluorescent waters churned up by propellers of the landing craft in front of you. The Canadian sailors transported more regiments and commando units on the lochs than can be honestly recalled. Most of these young volunteers, however, took to the new training and terminology related to various landing craft, like the aforementioned ducks to water. Starboard, port, fore, and aft, check. High tides and low tides, flood tides, ebb and neap tides, check. Kedges, winches, cables, anti-broaching lines, got it. Breakfast at 0600? Yipes. My father noticed one troubling detail about the LCMs he was assigned to handle. He says ALCs, assault landing craft, carried 3 rows of soldiers with the center row completely exposed, and the metal plating on ALCs was thick enough to stop a bullet. LCMs carried soldiers or a truck or a Bren gun carrier and mines and gasoline, but the LCMs wouldn't stop a bullet. I've since read that many crafts used at HMS Quebec and later at Dieppe were made of plywood, but good training on all types of crafts produced many good results. Canadians learned to climb upon scrambling nets and Jacob's ladders very proficiently aboard the Ettrick, a liner anchored just offshore downtown Inveraray. My father writes, "It only took us 3 seconds to drop 30 feet to the waterline on the scrambling nets because we learned to use only our hands." Hard work in beautiful surroundings toughened the sailors in other ways as well, and nearby hills caught many eyes. 30 years after the war's end, my father wrote the following: "I will always remember getting up in the morning to see the sun shining through the mist onto the purple heather. I made an excursion one day and actually rolled in it, to my delight." After several weeks of training at Inveraray, Canadian sailors might say, "So far so good." So far. Stay tuned.